Hey everyone, I'm Karume, and as you may or may not know, I have a lot of custom channel point redemptions, like 40 of them or something. And you can do various stuff with them. For example, here, if we redeem lights red, you'll see that all the lights in my room just turn to red, for example. So I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me how I exactly do that. So I'm going to give you a bit of an overview on how you can get started with it. Of course, like all the actual effects and stuff that I do on my stream are, mine. I'm not going to go through that sort of stuff like the green screen effects or the lights and all that sort of stuff. But hopefully, if you're sort of like a development person, you can kind of get on the right path if you watch this video. So what we're going to start with here is we're going to look at this pub sub service here. So Twitch has something called pub sub, and basically it allows you to subscribe to a topic for updates. For example, when a user cheers and somebody subscribes, all that sort of stuff. You got a bunch of stuff here, and of course one of them is when somebody redeems a channel point redemption. So if we scroll down here, it's got some information that you should read through. You should just search for pub sub. Of course, you're going to get it here. Some information. I'll go through a few of these things here, but down here you'll see the topic. So for example, you got, and this is an important bit here. It says required scope. So you've got bits read. There's two different bit events there. You can actually see when somebody changes bit badge notifications from what I know. So they go from the green badge up to the blue badge or something like that. Obviously down here, channel points, subscription. So if you actually do this, you'll get access to basically all that stuff there too. So that's good. Now, the first thing you're going to have to do to get this working is you're going to have to go over to Twitch developers. Just Google it. I'm sure it'll come up with a link. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to register your application. So you kind of just set up a registered application or something like that. I'm not going to go into this because it's got like secret keys in it that I don't want to show everybody. But you'll have like a little key in here somewhere, and it will do stuff. Which you'll put into a thing, and I'll kind of show you that. So first step, pause the video, go ahead, make your little application thing there, okay? And then you should be good to go to the next step. So the next step will be, you go to this website here. Now this is kind of a bit of a hidden website. It's very hard for me to find. It was basically the piece of the puzzle that made it click. You go to twitchapps.com/tokengen. I'll put a link to it in the video. And basically, it'll say here, you first need to register an application with your Twitch account, which is what we just did to get a client ID, and enter the redirect URL below. So you'll see the client ID. That'll be the thing in that little app that I didn't go into to show you because it's got stuff in there. And you'll see here scopes, list of available scopes. I think that link's actually broken. So don't rely on that. Go back to the pub sub and you'll see the scope. So for example, if you wanted to read well, since this is about channel points, we'll copy the channel points one. You go scopes, put that in, you put your client ID in, the redirect URL stays at how it is, and when you press connect, you know how when you like do something like Nightbot and it goes, hey, Nightbot wants to access your account to do XYZ, like read subscribers, read this, read that. You'll get, for example, with me, I get Karume bot wants to access your account to do the scopes that you want to get. And from there, you will get an OAuth token that you can use in your code to basically subscribe to that. So that's kind of all the stuff outside of the channel points that you'll get before you get into the actual coding side of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch over to the code. So if we go, let me just work out what I'm going to switch off here. That one, there we go. I'm using C# for my bot. I'm actually using a bit of an outdated framework for my bot. I want to switch it. I haven't got around to it. But one thing I use for this is, hopefully you can see it's a bit smaller. The other text will be bigger. I've got WebSocket SharkNet Standard by STA. This is what I use for my WebSocket. So a WebSocket basically kind of connects to a service, and then it basically listens out for messages that Twitch will send me. So I go, hey Twitch, I want to know about channel point redemptions. So, my WebSocket goes, hey, Twitch, let me know when it happens. And when Twitch knows it happens, Twitch is like, hey, buddy, Oki just wanted to change his lights to green. Or, whoever redeemed it wanted to change their lights to green. Bam, there you go. You can see it works. So, there we go. So we'll go into the socket client here. So, and I'll minimize myself down. All right, so the socket client here, you can ignore some of the stuff here, but the socket is the thing that we want to know about. So here I've got socket equals new WebSocket, and I've passed in the address to the Twitch stuff. You know, that's where we're connecting to listen to. And then we're going to do an on open socket connect. And then on message, we're going to do event handlers for these two things. So on socket connect, we've got to ping it. So we got to go, hey, let's ping it. And then we have to also send a listen out for what we want to listen to. So for example, I like putting stuff on one line. I know some people hate this, especially when it's zoomed in, it's a bit annoying. But hey, we're listening. We got channel points. We're listening for the topics channel points. Passing in my channel ID, which I won't show you. I'm listening for the channel bit events version 2. These are basically, if we go back to over here, the pub sub, you'll see that these are basically these little things here, which I believe are called their topic and example. They're kind of like the endpoints to a degree or something. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you're a developer, you probably can understand me. So channel ID, you know, I subscribe to bits, subscriptions, all that sort of stuff. And then at the very end, you want to pass in your auth token, which is, I've got that in a constants file, but that's your authorization token. With that, anybody could do anything to my account that they wanted, which is why I will not hover over it. But yeah, so then a socket pinger. So this socket pinger basically just pings it every 5 minutes. If you don't ping the Twitch server every 5 minutes, it will disconnect you and you'll stop receiving messages from Twitch. You know, once it's inactive for a while, they don't want to keep all these connections open, for example. Okay, so we go back here, and then the socket message. So on the socket messages, when it receives a message, it'll go through this, and basically e.data will contain like the JSON string back, if you know what a JSON string is. If you don't know what a JSON string is, I recommend you read up. It's just a way of formatting some data. Their JSON they send back is a little bit broken, from what I understand. I don't know why, but I have to reply. I can't even read this, but I replace some stuff in there and then it formats it properly as a JSON. So if you're having a problem with the JSON, you may need to do some string manipulation. It's there on screen. I'm happy to help you out with that. And then basically from there, you know, you can interrogate stuff. You can interrogate how many points were spent. You can interrogate the message. The JSON has a bunch of information. In fact, let's try and find it. Down here, I think there's examples at the bottom. Yeah, so for example here, example channel point message. For example, you know, it's got the type, timestamp, title, the prompt, the cost. Is sub only. I haven't seen that before. Anyway, yeah, so you got the user input. So if they have to say they have to type something in here, I'll zoom in a little bit. If they have to type something in, you'll see that in is user input. If you want to get that information, like, hey, enter a 2 to do something else. And then once you've kind of got all this working and you know how to do some coding stuff, like I do lots of stuff with it. Lots and lots and lots of stuff, but you know, you can start doing stuff like, you know, having a light rave is one I have, if I can find where it is. You know, you can start changing the lights, you know, there's all sorts of stuff you can do. And I'm not doing this manually, it's just happening through channel points. So I may have missed some stuff in this video. It might not be 100% complete. But these are the main things that you kind of need to remember and do. And they'll be the biggest pain points for you if you're not sure of the whole Twitch side of things. Their example of their JSON strings can be a bit out of date and sometimes wrong. Just a little hard to work with, I won't lie, but hopefully, you know, like I said, you're aware of, hey, the JSON might be broken. I just got to manipulate the string. That'll make your life 10 times easier. So hopefully this quick 10-minute video will help you do some custom stuff. And there's heaps of stuff. You're not limited by anything. The imagination is your limit. You can do heaps of stuff. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Flick me a message on Discord or Twitter if you've got any questions. Because as I said, probably some stuff I've missed. But this should get you on the right track. Bye.